Cuba, what do you wear when you're on vacation? Well, I'll give you an example. I recently just got back from the 305 on a business trip. I recorded some amazing content. Please follow my other channel. The link will be in the description where you can see some jewelry content, me actually in a manufacturing plant trying to make some jewelry and failing miserably, almost cutting and burning my finger off. But in going through my sample stash, I didn't want to take full bottles. I don't like getting pulled over. I go through the pre-check. Uncle Cuba don't wait on lines for nobody. And I want it to be as simple as possible. Although TA opened up my jewelry box, they were looking at crazy shit like, who is all this for? I'm like, I'm a rapper. They're like, no, you're not. I'm like, true. And I bought 3 5 ml fragrances with me. One that I've never worn, one that I barely wear, and the other that I recently got from the homie EQ over at Equality Fragrances. So when you ask me what type of vacation fragrances I rock with, we'll find out today. Let's roll my motherfucking music so I can put you on to the 3 vacation fragrances that I brought with me to the 305.
We're all alone. In case you cared, out of all your friends, I want to be Cuba.
Blessed morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. This your boy C to the U to the B to the A 305 and my yo. That is my home away from home. I've been coming and going from New York to Miami for the past 40 years. I have a lot of family out there. I get a lot of love in Miami. I mean, when I go to Miami, I don't even announce that I'm going to Miami because I can't make the amount of stops of people that I just want to see and show love to. It would take me at least a 2-week stay. And this was a business trip. And the brands ain't cutting a check like that. But in packing in my new briefcase, that I actually got compliments on my new briefcase. I'm going to be reviewing my briefcase in my new channel. That link will be in the description as well. Your boy's out here working. The flight attendant was like, that's a cute bag. I was like, yes, queen. These are the 3 fragrances that I brought with me, but one particular fragrance got me 3 compliments. 3 compliments, 2 from a dude, 1 from a lady. And for me, getting 1 compliment is a blessing, especially when the queen is by me, because her stare alone will absolutely assassinate a couple people. So the 3 fragrances are as follow that are currently still in my bag because I gotta go on another trip and I haven't emptied out my bag yet. So Speedo Basso, never tried it until this trip. MFK's Aqua Vitae Forte, and Boadicea the Victorious, the King, which was sent to me by EQ. So let's start off with that one. So EQ and I seem to share a lot of similarities when it comes to fragrance, and he knows I enjoy a beautiful plum scent profile, which he does as well. So he was like, yo Coobs, have you tried the King? And I'm like, not that I could think of. When I went on his live, which he's doing an amazing thing with his Verse Sense joint, I suggest you follow him, it's very entertaining. He mentioned the King and he blessed the kid with a decant, which I took with me. I was like, I wanted to try something bold, a little bit deeper, because if you live in Miami or have been in Miami, you know that it rains every 2 to 3 minutes for about 1 to 48 seconds, and it can go anywhere from 80 to a scorching 110 degrees with 300% humidity that your sack asshole just drips sweat. So a fragrance like the King was something that is not Miami worthy. However, at nighttime, in going out, it had a beautiful, juicy, boozy plum scent profile that just worked in the bit of breeze that was there right by the ocean. Now, I must say, the scent profile is incredible for the plum fan lovers. The booziness, the plum, the floral, the woodies, this sweet, sticky honey vibe. It was an amazing scent profile off of my skin that is a full bottle cop for me. What ended up happening at the base, it turned into like this little pipe tobacco, juicy plum and sticky honey tobacco vibe that was just incredible. I really want to harness that fragrance in the fall and winter as it feels more appropriate for that. But I wanted something with a little body, something that really didn't scream Miami. I hadn't given it a lot of wear while I've been here. So I was like, fuck it, let me just throw this sample in the bag, test that out in the 305 and see how that shit worked. And it worked like a gem. I did not get any compliments on that fragrance, but the smell that was in the Range Rover that your boy picked up smelled fantastical. It smelled ultra luxurious, super sexy, and really gave me a lot of Miami vibe. So let's move on to the Aqua Vitae Forte. Now with the MFK lines, with that lineup, I'm not the biggest fan, but something about that scent profile when I picked it up and I just did a quick spray to see what I was gonna take with me, felt Miami. It felt light, brisk, casual. It felt like I didn't want to be wearing any amount of clothing. I wanted to freeball it in Miami, which is probably legal. And it had a lot of light notes and light florals in there, the right amount of citrus. It wasn't too tart. It felt very shorts, t-shirt, flip-flops, pedicure appropriate, to just walk around for 6 to 8 seconds before you start melting in that Miami sun. I didn't wear that fragrance a ton, to be honest with you, because this next fragrance was the star of the show. A fragrance I had never worn before, and honestly kind of took my breath away, and everybody who was around me seemed to have some sort of reaction and at least 3 compliments on this piece, including employees at the hotel and a couple of randoms. That was really dope. And that fragrance by the house of Sospiro, and that's Bazzo. Now this one is a Max Aroma sample that I got, and I was like, let's just try it, because I've tried so many of the Sospiro brands. They all have a nice eclectic mix of shit. But that joint, I hadn't tried it. It was literally on the counter. That one wasn't one that I sampled. I was like, oh, Sospiro one, I ordered it. Let me just put it in my bag. And let me tell you that this was, for me, the Miami scent. Extremely versatile and performed in, it was hotter than the devil's asshole and armpit combined. It was a scorcher. You had to run to the car and hope the AC was kicking or it was sitting under the shade, because you were going to deep fry like a Louisiana special at Popeyes. Let me revisit this joint right now, because this was the compliment grabber. This was the beast. This was the one that made shit happen. This was the one that gave me that Miami vibe. I felt like Don Johnson and I needed a Testarossa. This is beautiful, absolutely a full bottle cop. It screams sugary grapefruit and vetiver. That's the majority of what I get from this fragrance. So if you take a therealcubaknow and take a beautiful pomelo mixed with like a grapefruit and just added like a coating of sugar right on top before you torch that bitch and caramelize it, that's what I'm getting off of this scent. It was sweet, it was tart, it was dry, it was woody, and then there's sweet red florals that come through that were elegant, sexy, bright, performed incredibly. I had no performance issue at all in any department, especially when I'm in Miami. But if you do a little bit of the devil's dandruff, you might. And I want to look up the notes, because again, I didn't look up anything of the fragrance. This was more of a, let's just throw it in the bag. The other two I kind of sampled beforehand, but this one, all right, so we got grapefruit, labdanum, carnation, mayflower, like the Pilgrim's Mayflower? Sandalwood, oak moss, vetiver, nutmeg, gaiac wood, cedar, black pepper, pink pepper, celery seed, and galbanum. So I get the sandalwood, vetiver pops, grapefruit pops. I'm assuming it's gonna be the carnation because there's a sweet red floral that isn't rosy. So I'm gonna go for that, but I could be wrong. Nutmeg, a little bit. The oud, cedar, yes. Black and pink pepper, 100%. This is a gorgeous summertime vibe fragrance with some signature scent attributes to it. But 3 freaking compliments on a trip in Miami, which I'm mostly in the car other than poolside in these scenarios or a restaurant or whatever. So this ended up being an amazing surprise. Like, this is something I absolutely gotta get a bottle of. And I don't know if you guys have tried Bazzo or Basso cup, but this shit slaps. It really just works amazingly off my skin. It's the right vetiver and citrus though. It's the right like sweet citrusy sugar vibe. Very sexy, very chill, still has a casual vibe, but you can absolutely dress it up. This was lit. I really enjoyed this fragrance. This was the compliment grabber. This was the beast. And this is an idea of what Cuba takes on vacation. I usually try to plan the scent profiles when I'm going on a vacay. This one was more like, let me try and test and play and take a weird variety with me. And this one ended up being the star. I love y'all mother suckers from the heart. If you can take 3 vacation scents with you, which ones would you take and where would you be going? Leave it in the comments below. I love y'all mother suckers from the heart, and I'll see y'all stitches next time. You know who it is. Biggest in the game. Smooches.
What's fresh? Who's best? One of them's gonna pass the test. For the fly gun holder, money folder, motor roller, start tag when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game, but he don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib. It's nonsense, you never get in. It's nonsense that you would think that you would.